Hi, I'm Chris, you're watching FRAG-MENTAL, thanks for stopping by. Some fragrances can be expensive. If you want to smell expensive without denting the bank account too much, I've got you covered. If you've been collecting for a while, you may already know some of these fragrances, but this video is more for people who are just starting out building their fragrance library and maybe don't want to drop too much cash on fragrances just yet. This is how I started out. But pretty soon you'll maybe think nothing of dropping £200 on a fragrance. But not here, not today. Oh no, because in this video, I'm recommending cheap fragrances that smell like expensive ones. I'm going to start with a few Creeds, because Creed is one of those brands that is expensive, but many people have heard of them and would maybe like to have a Creed fragrance, but just can't justify spending that amount of money. The first fragrance from Creed is probably the biggest Creed fragrance. It's Aventus. This is possibly the biggest selling niche fragrance on the planet. It is a stunning, head-turning combination of fruits and woods. Most people who come into contact with this fragrance love it, and I mean really love it. Problem is, in the UK, this costs £300 for 100ml. I think it's probably even more expensive in the States. And what makes this worse is that many claim the current formulation of Aventus that you can buy on the shelves today is different and not as good as it once was. So not only is it expensive, that's hard enough to justify spending £300 on a fragrance, but spending £300 on a fragrance that people are saying is not as good as it used to be, yeah, it's a tough one. But not to worry, because it's Armaf to the rescue with the legendary Club de Nuit Intense Man. You can pick this up for about £27 for 105ml, and it smells very close to Aventus. If you smell it up close, yeah, there's a few differences. It's maybe not as smooth, and you can tell that the ingredients aren't as expensive, but most people aren't going to be comparing it to Aventus. They probably don't even know about Aventus. They're just going to be really enjoying how you smell. I do just have to be really honest and say that the first 15 minutes of Club de Nuit Intense Man EDT is a little bit abrasive, but it does nicely settle down into what many people would describe as a better smelling fragrance than the current formulation of Aventus. The EDT is the one that's £27. You can spend a little bit more money, about another £20, and get the Pure Parfum version, which is the one I have here. This is a 150ml bottle. I do think it's better. It is smoother. It doesn't have that abrasive opening. So if you can stretch to another £20, then look at the Pure Parfum. If not, the EDT is still going to smell great. Another very popular Creed fragrance is Green Irish Tweed, which is inspired by a walk in the Irish countryside. And this has a very pleasant, freshly cut grass type of smell. What isn't quite so pleasant is the price, because 100ml is going to cost you around £230, £240. Much cheaper though is Davidoff's Cool Water, which comes in at a very cool £20. And actually both these fragrances were made by the same perfumer, Pierre Bourdon. Apparently Pierre Bourdon created the formula for Cool Water and it was rejected so many times he gave up on it, so he gave the formula to Creed. Creed went off and made their version, and then finally Cool Water got made and it became a worldwide phenomenon. So two very similar scents made by the same perfumer. What I find really interesting though is Green Irish Tweed is supposed to evoke the imagery of these green grassy hills, and Cool Water is supposed to be like diving into a fresh, invigorating ocean. Also, Green Irish Tweed is associated with the classy gentleman, whereas Cool Water is all about youthful vibrancy, yet both smell so similar. It just goes to show so much is in the marketing. They trick you. They get you thinking one way and then you think it smells just like that. That's how they get you. Both these fragrances came out in the 80s, but in my opinion, both still smell really good today. If you love fragrance as much as I do, head over to my online store, luxparfum.co.uk. You'll find my favourite brands, plus brands you can't find anywhere else in the UK. Link is in the description. Alright, this is the last Creed fragrance I'm talking about in this video, and it is the original Santal. This is a fruity, sweet, fresh laundry type of smell. Absolutely love this one from Creed. It's going to cost you £245 for 100ml. And as expensive as that is, they couldn't even be bothered to oil the cap. But once again, Pierre Bourdon swoops in to rescue our bank accounts with Mont Blanc Individuel. This is going to cost you under £30 for a 75ml bottle like this. Pierre Bourdon is the perfumer behind both these fragrances, but this time Creed couldn't get there first because this was released in 2003, original Santal 2005, so Creed thought they would call it original just to trick people into thinking this one came first. These two fragrances smell very similar. Yeah, once again, the Creed probably has the more expensive ingredients used, but they both smell great, and Individuel is much, much kinder on the wallet. And hear that? Exactly. For the next one, we are moving into the luxury world of Tom Ford fragrances. You go out smelling expensive, smelling like you're wearing a Tom Ford fragrance, you're probably gonna turn heads. One of my favorites from Tom Ford is the delightful Noir de Noir. This is a sensual, chocolatey rose scent, a quintessential Valentine's Day or date night scent, in my opinion. The 100ml bottle of this is going to cost you £265, but it's Armaf to the rescue again with Club de Nuit Intense Woman. And guys, please don't worry about the woman in the name of this fragrance. Even if you're not a woman, you can wear this fragrance. You don't have to be a woman to wear this fragrance, even though it says it's for a woman and you're not a woman, it's fine. If you're a man and not a woman, you're good, because Noir de Noir is marketed to both men and women, and they both smell pretty much the same. Once again, yes, the quality of this is just a little higher, but for most people in the air, people smelling you, again, they're not going to be comparing it to this fragrance because they probably don't even know it and they don't have it there to directly compare it. So they're just going to think you smell great. Club de Nuit Intense Woman smells almost exactly the same as Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, but this one is only £20. Yes, 20 quid for the 100ml bottle, or it might even be 105ml bottle. Stunning value, in my opinion, for a stunning, cheapie fragrance. The final cheaper alternative in this video smells almost exactly the same as the iconic Tom Ford Black Orchid. This one is a beautiful, fruity, chocolatey scent. It's going to cost you £140 for 100ml, but you can buy from Ardal Zaffaran Oud 24 hours for just £15. That's on Amazon. It's maybe even cheaper than that on eBay. £15. In my opinion, this one smells just as good as the original. Really lovely stuff. Performance is just as good as the original as well, and the bottle is pretty substantial and quite good looking for a £15 perfume. It's got a good weight to it. It's actually heavier than the Tom Ford fragrance. Not that we judge whether a fragrance is expensive based on the weight of the bottle, but I'm just saying, for a £15 perfume, it feels pretty substantial, and I quite like the presentation of that. I have just purchased my second ever Ard Al Zaffaran fragrance. It's not arrived yet. The postman's bringing it today. It's a tobacco scent, and based on how much I enjoy this, I cannot wait to try it. Wear any of these, you're going to stand out, you're going to smell amazing, you're going to smell expensive. Don't forget, even though these are cheapie fragrances, these two were made by one of the most legendary perfumers in the world, Pierre Bourdon. So you might not be spending a lot of money, but you're getting fragrances that are composed by a master perfumer. I'll leave links to these fragrances down below if you're interested in picking any of these up. Let me know what your favorite cheap alternatives to expensive smelling fragrances are. I'm sure there are loads I've not mentioned in this video. I would love to hear from you, and anyone watching this video, head down to the comments because I'm sure people will put loads of really good suggestions down there. All right, that's it from me. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you do all that, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.